Hello, Tansy. Excited for this first reading of Book 2, Searching for the Little Green Valley by Grandmother Gentle Bear. Tea is ready. Let's begin. Winter has been very mild with very little snow. And what snow there was melted away, leaving me thinking of spring. The old portage trails are getting harder to see. They're not getting used as much these days. And this canoe is heavy. Working my way through the thick brush and following the ancient tree blazes that mark the old portage trails. Memories guide me only so far. I'm taking it all in and writing and drawing and making a rough map with a few illustrations. I'll probably never roam this way again. There's a special valley with mountains and rocky bluffs where I'll build a cabin, I'll build a home. The hike in the back country gives me plenty of time to go over the written plans and the cabin design. I've written down plans for food storage, hunting, fishing, and foraging. It's really important to have a plan and be prepared. But it's also important to be flexible, because you never know what's just around the next corner. Could be berry feasting with a bear. You could have startled that bear on your path. Could be a deer standing in a clearing, and it becomes your dinner and food stores for the seasons. That's what's so great about backcountry adventures. You feel alive, your senses are on high alert, and yet you feel calm and at home. I fully understand how those who came before me felt living on the land. It's a sense of nature's gifts all around you. It's in everything. From trees to rocks, the air, the flowers, and all the creatures, great and small. There's an angelic energy as I stop for a rest amongst a thick forest of poplar and pine trees. A slight breeze sways sun-speckled branches as light slips here and there like dancing spirits. I'll take the time. There's no hurry. I'm in God's cathedral. Oh, windy. Slipping into sleep came easy. A dream world of sounds and smells that lulled me into comfort, calm, and rest. Birds singing their pre-spring songs, squirrels jumping from tree to tree, water flows from a nearby creek, swollen from the early melt. Stoked a little fire and put on a pot of water for tea. I've got some bush bannock and deer jerky that'll go good with my tea. This is a great spot to set up camp for the night or two, and I'll forage some greens and some mushrooms and berries, and maybe, well, probably won't be berries, but there'll be rose hips, and maybe catch a fish or two. It feels great to not be in a hurry. No schedule, no time frame. Nothing is like retraining your brain. Time is of no consequence. Eat when I'm hungry, sleep when tired. It's new and exciting. A big tug on the rod and a few turns of the reel and a beautiful pink-bellied, speckled rainbow trout, about 2 pounds, that'll go great on the fire with some wild onions, mushrooms, and of course, tea. I tossed the hook in again, not expecting another fish. It was just the relaxation of the motion and the mindset. And just like that, I had another fish, a much larger lake trout. And I'll put it on the smoker and eat it along the trail as I go. It's been 2 restful sleeps and a day and a half of watching insects, catching fish, listening to Le Forêt, long midday naps that leave me dreaming and dozy. I'm rested and ready to continue on the trail. This canoe is still heavy, but the path is clear and slowly sloping down this small valley. The end of this portage is just ahead of me. Making camp for the night on the edge of a path near shore. Tomorrow's a day of paddling and reflecting. The further I go into the back country, the more I feel like myself. The words of poetry and stories want to come out of the end of my pen. Finding myself means I can now put pen to paper and share these adventures of the trail. If you don't know by now, it's all about leaving the stress behind. The demands and responsibilities of a compromised life. Obligations that are met with love and care, and yet there's guilt for unsaid words. I will retrain my brain. It's okay to not feel guilty and to love your new freedom, your new self-love, and allowing your adventurous side to make the decisions. The day is closing and I'll need more firewood for the night. Another starry-filled night. Another night in the woods, Le Forêt, and the rest with nature in all her glory. Clear night skies leave dancing stars, blinking planets, and heavenly orbs. I'm creating a space in my mind and in my memory that's always grateful for the majesty that surrounds and heals. A space that I can go to anytime I need to remember that inner peace and the healing life waters. Morning came early like it usually does, with the bright smile of sunshine and the rumblings of my tummy wanting morning tea and smoked fish. A quick pack-up of the canoe and a pocket of smoked fish and a flask of tea, I set off across the lake. I set off towards a small dark spot across the lake where another creek flowed. It meant another portage, but it would be worth it. Even closer to the little green valley where the cabin would be built. Another adventure on the trail. Rowing the lake was smooth and uneventful, but that's a good thing. The mouth of the creek was narrow and rocky, with a clear path upshore and into the trees. Many have portaged here, but a long time ago. This canoe was heavy, a short trail to a clearing near the creek, and put the canoe back in the water. The water was a little high, with fallen trees hanging across the path, ducking and bending to miss the low branches. Some parts the paddle worked out, the small rapids, but mostly the water was calm, easy flowing, and taking me the direction I wanted to go. Here and there I strayed to watch a mother cow with last year's half-grown calf, and a mother black bear with her 2 cubs walking the shoreline. It was past midday and the sun was almost in my face, and I was feeling my age and I wanted a nap. Around the next bend came an open meadow with an old stone fire ring. I almost thought I saw many teepees standing tall all through the meadow. It was an illusion, spirits. Maybe a ghost village from long ago, there and gone in a flash, foggy and not real, but it could have been. After all, I am on an ancient trail that was taken by many for many, many years. I felt privileged to have seen the teepee village. Real or not, it didn't matter. I will camp here for a night or 2 as winter turns to spring and the wildflowers are pushing up their colors and aromas. A good day to pull the canoe on shore. It's time for a hot cup of tea with some bush bannock and some smoked fish. And I've also got these fresh fish that I'll need to clean and get on the smoker. As the sun goes behind the mountain and the air cools, I stoke the fire and make tea. Tonight I've set up a lean-to shelter. The wind is cold and it feels like snow. I've collected plenty of wood, keeping it dry under the lean-to. I've been lucky lately with good weather and warm nights. No stars tonight. The sky is overcast with clouds, and light rain mists the air, almost snow. It's going to be a long night. We're into chapter 2 now, Spirits Along the Trail. Morning couldn't come soon enough, and with it the warmth and the light that the night lacked. The sky had cleared and the air was crisp and fresh. Steam rolled off the meadow and through the trees in the distance. It was magical. I felt like I could thrive here. I spent most of the morning walking the edge of the meadow, picking herbs and greens and a few old mushrooms. It was a warm pocket microcosm, and I understood why people gathered here seasonally. The ancient place with spirits drumming and singing could be heard just before dusk. It continued into the night and lulled me to sleep. I woke once to stoke the fire and rubbed my eyes when I saw some elders around the glow of the fire. Then they were gone. I felt privileged. The elders might have been sent to guide me. It was a dream, maybe, but I still felt privileged. As the early morning came, a relaxing day, maybe a little bit of foraging, I might catch a fish or 2. Tomorrow needed food stores for the long trail ahead. Not much to forage, but I caught 3 trout, and I'll have to make another smoker to preserve the fish for the trail. The smell of fish on the open fire and smoked fish clouded the camp. The area was alive again, the old ways, my ways. I felt happy to be alive. Leaving this place will be hard, but I must continue on my path, not knowing if I'll ever pass this way again. These memories, sights, and senses will be remembered, and in some way I will leave a piece of my spirit here, amongst all the others that came before me and those that will come after me. I woke early as the sun came up. No fire, no tea this morning. A bit of smoked fish and the paddling began. A quiet exit from a sacred place. I won't look back. I won't look back for fear that I might not ever leave. It's locked in my memories as each paddle takes me further away. Hours turn into days, and the creek has become my home. A different camp each night, and pushing forward each day. Cups of hot tea and dried smoked fish kept me alive with bits of dried jerky and some old cranberries from last year. The little green valley is not far, but I won't rush my adventure and risk missing every step along the way. It's been a long day of paddling as the valley opens up, and before me and the creek, it widens and slows. I pull to shore to take it all in. It's been many years since my last visit to this area. This is the Little Green Valley. I was younger. The trees are much bigger now, and the water is clear like I remembered. On one side the valley opened to a wide meadow at the base of the mountains, and on the other side rock ledges formed from erosion and hung over the creek. The creek flowed into a small lake where trout grew to huge sizes, enough fish to smoke and dry and store for the winter. And deer are everywhere along the tree line. We're going to stop there for today, and we'll continue reading tomorrow with chapters 3 and beyond. And I really hope you enjoyed this reading. And remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment. Tell me what you like about the story. Where do you think the story is going? Maybe tell me about one of your bush tales. And if you do, I might read it online as well. And as always, remember to be kind to nature and go out into the woods as often as you can.